Alright, hey guys, it's Anthony from Atwo Studios, bringing you yet another update on our game Roy. Where I left off last week was that I talked about the tutorial. Tutorial, some bug fixes, the level select screen. We're all kind of roughed in there. This week they're a little more fleshed out. Tutorial is pretty much done. As you can see, I'm starting on the home screen here because I'm actually going to show you what the full boot up of the game is now. We've changed a little bit of how the game starts off from previous times, so I'm just going to dive right in and show you. So as you can see here, here's a little icon that's not finished yet. It's just temporary, but that's what it looks like so far. So we're going to tap on it, we're going to boot it up. We got our logo, a splash screen. Now it boots up right into the tutorial this time, which is good for us and you, because now you instantly get to learn how to play. There's no confusion on, oh, I didn't get to play the tutorial, or I didn't know this or that, or I just thought I was going to dive right in, but we're actually going to teach you how to play the game right off the bat. So, if you've watched my update videos, you know that I've showed the tutorial a handful of times now, so it's just basically the same thing. I said last time we cleaned it up, or we're still working on cleaning up minor things. Oh, geez. That's a problem. But yeah, we're just cleaning up minor things with that. A lot of UI fixes or changes to come for the tutorial and the overall gameplay for that. As you can see, boots up right in the tutorial, so we learn how to play. Although I instantly clicked the tutorial button again, but we are changing that part of the main menu system here. I'll show once I get out of this. Okay, so for the next time around, this is the whole main menu here is going to be changed up completely. We're going for more same type of setup, I guess, with the 4 buttons, but they are going to be a little more spaced out, a little bit different. We're getting rid of this modes box and having just a play button instead. So once you click on the play button, you go in, then we'll have our level select and our endless mode and our tutorial all right there for that. And then obviously you can click on those modes and you can go in the specific game mode for that. But what we will have instead, so we'll have the play button at the top. We will have our store, a settings button, and a high scores. Yeah, play settings, high score, and store button too. Did I not say that the first time? Yeah. Play settings, store, and high score button. Yep. Okay. So. Yeah, that's what we're going to have on the main menu. So it's a little more of an overview of what is in the game versus these are specific buttons here. Yeah, with the modes being that in the tutorial. And as you can see, we have a colorblind mode. I want to say I showed it off, but I can't remember for sure. But I will show it off anyways again for that. That will be included in the settings tab instead of just being slapped on the main menu like this for that. So let's go ahead and check that on. I'll show you the level select mode. Although last time it was not playable, this time around it is playable. So still a couple graphical errors with the scaling, but this is what the level select was, if you remember from last time. We're going to be changing the art here, so this is going to be all moved around and repositioned and everything. This is just slapped on for show for now. But yeah, we have our planets, and you want to go through and get stars for that. And we have our star system, which I don't believe I showed off last time around. There's a couple of builds that happened this past week, but I didn't show them off because there's a lot of small changes in each build, so I was going to wait till the end of the week so I could compile them all together. So, one being the planets, which I'm pretty sure I did not talk about last time as far as it being filled out and completed for that, which includes the star system now. So, if you do poorly, you get 1 star, or if you do mediocre, you get 2 star, you get 3 star if you do perfect, and that's all based on how many lives you have at the end of the game, because right now we're on a 3 live system. And you can tell by playing by the characters' facial expressions. So you want to go through and get perfects all the way through, so you can unlock the next world, or 15 stars for that. So what I wanted to add is, even though, like, let's say the white world here's 15 stars, which we need 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, so you get perfect on 5 levels for that. But I want to make it so, let's say we're not, we botched a couple levels and we only got 2 stars or maybe a 1 star or something like that. An incentive would be to, let's give you a bonus of 500 coins if you get all perfect stars for that world. So that way you can go and you can spend your currency in the game on various items that can help you out through the game, whether it be more power-ups or more coins if you want to, farm coins for that. Or skins, if you want to change how things look in the game too, for that. So, we got a set amount of plants here. These are all placeholder for now, just so we can have an idea, and you, the player, of what's actually going on. So as you can see here, it goes all the way up to Teal Planet, and then it goes to this black hole. And what the idea is, which is already in here for now, is that we start off on the planets, and we introduced a game mechanic, and we're going to be using that game mechanic for that specific planet. And once we beat that planet, we go to the next planet, and we'll be introduced to a new game mechanic, and we'll do that, and we'll play that game mechanic plus the previous one for this planet. And it'll just keep getting added on as we go through planets. So you'll learn new game mechanics, there'll be new stuff introduced to you, but you also will be using the old stuff that was introduced to you too. So that brings me all the way up to the black hole, which is just take everything you've learned so far and use it in a, I guess, planet. I mean, black hole is not really a planet, but you get the idea of, the levels will keep increasing on and on and on and on forever, using all those game mechanics that you learned, along with, the difficulty changing for the levels as they keep going up. And then we may throw new stuff here and there and like the black hole levels to keep the player fresh and not expecting the same thing over and over and over as they play through the planets, or through the levels, I should say, not the planets. But so that's the idea right now. Is basically, these are kind of like tutorials, but not really. It's just levels where you can go. And you're playing the levels, and obviously, you'd play in the same way that you'd play like the endless mode. But it kind of holds your hand a little bit. Basically, is what it's doing. Teaching you something, explaining how to use it, and you have to use that specific thing to complete the levels. And it was kind of similar to what I was thinking in the tutorial itself, being that we do it, we're introduced in an action, and then we have to do that action before we can move on to the next piece of information we're learning, and then have to do that action. So same concept, although we just moved it a little bit more into the game itself opposed to the tutorial, which I think it works better overall. But okay, so enough with that. Let me just hop right in here and play a level. Show you guys with the colorblind mode. You can see there's a 1 and a 2. Although we are making art for this, so it'll be more visible. This is just the game maker text that's in the engine right now, so it's not good for that. So in World 1, we're just going over the color combinations of red, orange, yellow. Pretty straightforward. Your goals are at the top. We discussed we'll be changing the goals to make them more visible and make a little more sense, and also so they're not using the game maker text. That's the fonts in game maker. for that. As you can see here, I got 2 out of 3. It's because I botched one and I accidentally hit something without the wrong or right color with that. But we do have the star system telling you how many stars you get. So if at this point you want to go to the next level, you want to go to the main menu, or you want to restart, it's all there for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and restart so we can get it perfect on this one. But for that, yeah, so colorblind mode, the discussion we had with that is there's different degrees of color blindness, and so to accommodate for all types of color blindness would be very difficult, and so the best option would just be to put a giant number on there, something that's visible enough for the player to see, and being able to do simple addition as opposed to color combinations, because it's all relatively the same thing. You're just adding, 1 plus 2 is 3, red plus yellow is orange, it's all the same. One's just using colors, the other's using numbers, but the game is still the same. So that's the system we came up with the colorblind mode. So if you have any comments on it, if you think it's a good idea or have any suggestions, please let me know. So going on to the next level. So for everything I talked about in the earlier videos is that we increase the speed, the number of objects spawning, and also the number of shapes you have to match as you go throughout the levels. And all those get increased as you go farther and farther along in the levels, and that's how the game gets harder and more difficult as we're going through it. So that's that. So like for the we learn a game mechanic, and then we use that and we acquire stars here, and we need these. Then we have a lock, and it tells how many stars we need to unlock that planet to be able to go to the next world. For that. So that's the star system, and we do plan on time. We don't plan, I don't know yet, it's still up in the air. I have to do a little more research on like an energy system and how about we should go about doing that, because one, we can do an energy system that just programmatically and plug it in there, but it uses the clock on your phone, which the player can just go ahead and change the clock forward and backwards to gain energy and kind of cheat the system like that. I've played a few games like that. So another thing is I do have to do a little research on maybe a server or something like that that can hold like a world clock, and then we can get the actual time off that server, and so there'll be no cheating with that system. Otherwise, we'll just ditch an energy system and allow the player to play endlessly throughout that. The only catch, I guess, not really a catch, but we do plan on having advertisements in the game. It does help us out in terms of how we're going to get revenue for the game, because ultimately our goal is to make money, but we need to do it in such a way that having advertisements is non-intrusive for the player, and makes the player feel like, hey, I'm playing for a good amount of time before I see an advertisement and stuff like that. So we could dish the energy system, and we could do it like, I don't know, once every 5 levels. We could show a video ad or a full screen image ad for those for the player. It helps us out for that. And the second thing is our in-app purchases. I guess piggybacking off of making money here, or revenue for us, is in-app purchases. We'll have skins in there. We'll have power-ups, not exactly the power-ups that are in the game, but like something like double coin booster, or I don't know, something to do like stars, help you achieve, acquiring like the 3 stars a lot faster, and something along those lines. We're still kind of discussing that in terms of what's going in the store. I know like skins are always a good thing. People like to have different types of art. They can buy with their coins or they can buy with real money. It doesn't matter. You know, then we can have something like turn off ads. You know, if you really hate ads, then you can buy it for like $2 or something like that. Everything's still kind of up in the air, but we're coming down to that point where we're going to finalize a set amount of things that will go in the store, which, you know, you can buy as a player, or, you know, buy with the in-game currency for that. So, you know, that's kind of what we did this week, is kind of plugged everything in, kind of fine-tuned a little bit. Everything else is still the same, you know, that being the tutorial on this mode, and the levels. So what we're working on this next week is we are finalizing art. I have a whole new set of art to be dished out, that of being like the planets here, the stars, the levels, the power-ups, a couple of the hazards. For that, we're about just over halfway of like the list of art that I have laid out. So I'm just going to roll that out all into one update for the game. So expect that here in the near future. We just bought the Google developer's license, so we are set up on that. We are starting to hook the Google Play services up to our game. That will be this week's things to do. So we can have like the store rolling. We'll have like the skeleton for that up and ready, so we can just, you know, plop things in there for the store. And then shortly after that, I will be rolling like the game into a mobile advertisements, like what was it, mob ads, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's mob, right? Mob ads. Ad mob, that's what it was. I was saying that wrong. Ad mob, I'll be, you know, rolling it out into there, so we can start messing around with advertisements and figure out the best way to implement those in the game. And then we got started a collection of sounds we'll be putting in there, because at this point there is no sound in the game, but it's not that difficult to put them in. And then it'll be advertising after that, you know, trying to market to you, the player, and get our game out there, so people can come and download it, and, you know, hopefully give us feedback and tell us what they like, they hate on the game. You know, so ultimately the goal is to get it out to the player. So an estimate on it is like 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how like Google Play services go and ads go. We're all doing this for the first time, so it's hard to give a hard set answer on that, because it is our first time, you know, doing all this for a game. So I can give you an estimate of 2 to 3 weeks, and I think that's a pretty realistic one, and it could be sooner than that. I'm not going to bet on it, but there is a possibility it could be sooner. So you know, stay tuned for that. And that is it for this week's update, and along with, you know, things to come in the future. So we're coming out on the wire here, and you know, it's going to be the end. It's going to be out there for everyone to play. So I'm excited. You know, thanks for watching. You know, if you watched the series so far, or the dev update so far, I appreciate it, and all the feedback that you guys have you know, left me or contributed to the game. I appreciate it a lot. And you know, stay tuned for next week's update. You guys know where to go. If you want to check out more updates or be involved in the game, go check us out at atwostudios.com. And then all the social medias except Instagram, that being A2 Studios. You can all find that on the YouTube page for more links, along with our homepage too. So that is it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. See you next week for another update.